All right. So what I did was we restarted it, but I just sent the link to Jeff through message too. So there he is.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. What up, man?
All right. I figured out you had to send it to my text message.
Yeah, I know. I was like, well, I'll try something here. There's got to be something. I was like, dude, I was just hoping I had your number. I'm like, I don't know if I have his number in my regular phone.
Yeah, I'm glad we got it figured out.
Yeah, you had a long one today?
Yeah, I just got home.
What was you guys doing?
Oh man, we had an awesome day.
Did you?
Yeah, bunch of big trees, no cleanup.
Ah, hell yeah.
Yeah, I shot video all day. August shot video all day, so I'm kind of chomping at the bit to go through all that footage.
I bet. That's awesome. That's
Yeah,
awesome. You seem like you've been on it with the YouTube thing. I think if you stay steady, dude, like I guarantee you it won't take you long to kind of just push past everybody. At the way your channel's growing, it's kind of wild.
yeah. I don't know. I'm putting all my time and effort into that now. You
That's
know,
awesome.
I was doing a lot of stuff on Instagram and stuff like that, but I don't know. There could be a little future in this. You know what I mean? So um, I'm not trying to be annoying. I don't know. It's fun. You know?
Yeah, it is. It is. Especially after you kind of get your flow at it and you kind of get started, and then you can kind of start changing things up and tweaking things, and you're like, you figure out what you like and what the people like, and
Yeah.
yeah, and I like the mix with the axes too. I think it gives you a bit of difference there. Like that's not every tree guy.
It targets two different crowds, kind of.
Yep. Yeah, that's one thing I wanted to ask you about because I felt like definitely it kind of opens up different avenues there as far as viewers that maybe wouldn't watch tree work so much, but just like restoration stuff. Just even
Yeah.
that.
The axe videos, they don't get as many views, but like I said, it's targeting a different crowd. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's kind of in the same realm though. It's not too far away because I tried putting skateboarding on mine.
Yeah.
No, no, absolutely not. Like everybody, like I lost a bunch of subscribers quick, and I was like, "Whoa,
Huh.
okay, no, I'm good. I'll throw my skate footage on Insta or something." But
Right.
yeah, right on. Well, here, I tell you what, I'm gonna. I had some questions that like I wanted to ask you,
Okay.
so we'll just get into it because I'm sure you're tired.
Oh, yeah.
Um,
Let me move over to the shade here real quick.
yeah, get comfy.
All right, that's a little better.
Right on. What was your first job? Like, did you get in? When did you start doing tree work?
Um, well, I grew up in Northern California, and basically everybody in my family, my dad, my brothers, uncles, have all been in the industry somehow. You know,
That's
and
all.
I got a job doing line clearance back in, I think it was like 2005, kind of right out of high school. A few years after high school, my brother was doing, and I got a job there a little bit, and that was kind of the start of it. I started out doing line clearance.
Did you like it, or did you just realize like that's a way to make money?
I liked it, like tree
Did you?
work with blood,
Yeah.
and but the line clearance kind of sucks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was so fresh at that point, I didn't even realize that was like crappy tree work. You know
Yeah,
what I
but
mean?
then things, if you do anything else in tree work, it's way cooler. Like all the other stuff is cooler. Like it just gets better.
Yeah, and then I got a job working for like a residential guy, and then I realized that like residential tree work is where it's at.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
I think I think I enjoy the problem solving aspect of it. And there's
and
not really problem solving when it comes to line clearance usually, you
yeah,
know.
you
But
get 10 feet and go on to the next one, you know. But yeah, that's kind of where it all started. I mean, I had a gap um, where I was doing some other things, and I moved to Oregon in 2000. I think it was the end of 2014, 2015 maybe, and and then I got a job here in. That's when I like really got focused. That was
so
just that was just 8 years ago when I got really serious about it.
so whereabouts were you when you started like doing tree work? Where did you live?
I grew up in Humboldt County, Northern California.
Oh, okay. So I was curious if there was like a shock from the size of the trees, like from where you were at to where you went.
They went down in size when I moved to Oregon.
Okay, yeah, that's the only way it could go down. Like you would
Yeah,
have to be there. So I was like, okay,
there's big trees here. I
yeah,
found. I've been searching for them. I found some massive trees here that I've been climbing on the side just for fun. And I go on one of the old that I found out here, and it's well over to probably 225.
wow, that
Yeah.
is crazy. So did you do groundwork originally, or did you go straight to cut?
No, well, when I did line clearance, it was kind of you start out on the ground and stuff, and then you know start climbing a little. I would get a job for a different tree service. They would start me um, back to square one. You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
then when I moved, um, it was back to square. I stayed with this certain company I was with for probably years for August, periodically during that time too. Uh, when I got hired up here, I basically got hired two tree services. Like they combined at the same yard, and some days I'd go with August, some days I would go with the other, and they kind of split us up every morning depending on what needed. You know what I mean?
that's cool.
So it was kind of working like for companies, you know. But yeah, I started on the ground running ropes and you know, I kind of thought I knew a lot of we were here. I I didn't know nothing, man.
I mean, and especially when you work on a good crew, I think it can give you even more of like a crazy false sense of like you got everything figured out, and then like I found myself where I worked on a really good crew, and then I went off on my own, and I just like it was very chaotic when I was off on my own. When I was making all the decisions, like
Yeah,
I wasn't making the decisions in the proper order, and
yeah,
like just when I worked with the other guys, I didn't think about that. I just thought, oh, we're good, we're
yeah.
so good.
I've been really enjoying tree work by myself lately. Uh, I've branched out on my own. I got licensed, bonded, and insured, and I'm with August 4 days a week doing my own jobs.
That's
But
cool.
it's kind of like a relief in a way, waking up Friday morning and just being like, all right, I'm gonna go bang out my job today. You know, it's kind of like a bonus. Of
Yeah,
course, it's better money, you know, but like, um, I kind of miss what it was like to call the shots, you
yeah,
know, and
yeah. You don't think like just the ability to be able to call it in a different order, like and the shots like sometimes like maybe when you're working for somebody, it may just be because I don't like taking orders, but like the way they'll do things, like I'd be like I'd do it different. So
yeah,
when you find do it that way, it's really hard to go back. Like it's really hard to go back.
yeah,
I had trouble with it. Like so that's where I kind of got to contract climbing and just kind of stuck to that. And I don't know if it's this way for everybody, but I basically would just tell people when I'm contract climbing on your site, it's my site.
Yeah.
So I come call the shots, and when I leave your site, whoever was the boss is now the boss again.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if it's that way for everybody, but that's just kind of the way I had to do it because I don't know. Sometimes I'd get a knucklehead that was running stuff on the ground, and I'm like, oh my god, like you're gonna get me killed.
Yeah, I've been contracting for a couple other companies. When I don't have my own jobs on Fridays, I got things lined up where I can go contract for somebody else, and one of the guys is the other company that used to meet at the same yard. You know what I
Really?
mean?
That
Uh,
is awesome.
Basically, he does paperwork and sends me to the job and just lets me have a free for all. You know.
That's the way I worked
So
with a company, and that was the best way. That's the way I like doing it. Like give me my marching orders and let me go
yeah,
conduct business.
and it's the same grade, so it's not like I'm going into a different company with a bunch of different guys. It's all the same people that I have experience with. You know. So,
Better.
but
So did you
kind of where it's at right, slowly transitioning into um, my own kind of thing. You know.
it seems like it's going good for you. I mean, you got the stump grinder and you
Yeah.
got the trailer and everything. I mean, I don't know. I think a lot of people are puzzled by me because I prefer the smallness. I like it this way. I
Yeah.
don't I don't want the headaches. I just don't want it yet.
Right.
Maybe later on when I need the machinery and stuff to kind of help me, but I prefer the smallness of it. I like this. It's very mobile and able to go.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I've been watching and kind of keeping up with it, and you seem like you're just it's enjoyable. Like the whole thing's enjoyable.
It is, and my intentions are to like target small jobs and do everything that I can by myself.
That's the same way. I'm the same way, and I think that kind of puzzles some people, and they just think like, oh, there's something wrong. Like he can't. Like I could go to the bank right now, and I'm sure they give me whatever I want, but I don't want that. You know. Um,
Yeah.
what did you start climbing on? Like,
Uh,
did you start on a
uh,
Blake Fisher?
Tot line hitch. When I was doing line clearance, it was a tot line.
Yeah, that's what I started on too. What'd you move to after that, as far as climbing?
Unisender.
Unisender, really?
Yeah,
So
I
you
went
didn't?
went
Did
from
you
the
go?
line hitch. Well, actually, no. I went to a hitch climber system.
Okay, yeah, that's
And
same me.
I did the hitch climber thing for a while.
Okay,
Then I got the Unisender.
okay. I definitely have to try. Like, I'm gonna have to get one.
It's I find, and this is all personal preference, but I find it's the best production uh, device out there for somebody that's working for a company 9 to 5 and they're climbing 3, 4, 5 trips a day. Uh, feel like it's the most universal thing for production.
Yeah, it seems very easy to switch from single to double. Like that's awesome.
It's not the smoothest ride in the world,
I
you know.
kind of yeah, I've kind of noticed that. Like I can tell, and then I hear the complaints from people, but I have that gree, and 90% of people swear that you cannot use that thing to descend. Like it's too bouncy. But
Uh,
like, there's a weird position you can put your body in and become a little bit weightless, and a system will run smooth then. Like, if I don't know if that makes any sense to other people that don't climb, but when you're hanging in a saddle, you can kind of like go weightless a little bit, and your system it relieves your system and lets it go. Like, I don't know. And maybe
yeah,
that's just me.
yeah. I don't know. I like a halfway worn out Unicenter. You know,
Really?
it's just starting to work right, and um, you're supposed to wrap the rope over the top, and with the half worn out one, like there's like 4 different plates, and I found that you can put your fingers on those plates, index finger on the top, and you can control it. Like you can just, like I was
Really?
doing today on a single line instead of wrapping over on a halfway wore out one when they're just wore out perfect. You can like grab that. It's like meant for your hand to grab, and then the top of it, you just kind of like a zigzag where you
Really
feather that kind of feather it in.
kept me from getting it is like if I felt like it could move like that, I would probably want to use it and I would probably get one. But I didn't think it could be used other than the rope wrap over. But I've noticed people doing that.
Yeah, I
So
was doing bar and I was lowering myself down like that. I wasn't taking a wrap. I had like yank coming down, take a chunk, come down 10 feet, take a chunk, and I didn't at all.
well, if you can move, then that's the hardest time to get it to start moving when you're that close to your anchor, real close. Like to
Yeah,
get your system to start working. If you can get it to work then, and you're doing that, yeah, I'll definitely have to check into it because that's kind of the thing I feel like it kind of scared me off. But have uh have you ever been hurt or injured doing this?
um, not an injury that you would think. Um, I've never fell. I've never broken any bones. Um, I've had some really bad like lower back issues, and it was like a continuous thing every year, and like bad, what I mean? Where I couldn't walk and stuff, and I wouldn't pinpoint it on tree work. I used to skate, I used
Yeah.
to do all kinds of stuff young, what I mean? And I think it's a combination of all that stuff, but uh, majority probably working logs and loading a truck by hand, and like and then this last time my back went out, it was my sciatic all pinched and inflamed and stuff, and my whole left leg, and
Ah,
my calf muscle shrunk, and it grew back in this weird shape.
really?
So
What?
like it's really interesting, man. Like it did some really bad nerve, you know. And my solution, I started working my core. Started doing like
Yeah.
uh, not a whole. And before I get in the shower, I'll do a set of pull ups and I'll do a set of push ups. And ever since I've been doing that, my back hasn't gone out, and I'm going on 2.5, almost 3 years now. So a lot of people say, "Oh man, you must be in really good shape. You do tree work." Well, I mean, you can go on dry spells, you know what I mean, where you're just walking around with a pole printer for a month, and it's all about keeping strong, is what I've noticed.
Yeah. Or get in a bucket truck for a while,
Yeah,
and you're using a bucket truck. I mean, I remember I took a long time away from climbing using a lift, and the day when I had to go back and climb, and I got in a sketchy one, that was gnarly. Like I felt like a baby deer, and I'm like, what in the hell happened here? But
yeah.
that's crazy.
That's
That
basically the only injury I've had. I've a couple chainsaw cuts, nothing major. Handsaw cuts.
I
I've,
got a lot. Yeah,
I've
a
had some
lot.
pretty.
I cut my hand with a top handle saw one time, and I made this stupid mistake of like holding a chunk of wood that had a sucker going off of it, and I went to cut it, holding it in my hand, and it just bounced. And
Dang.
like I used to play guitar and used to kind of be okay, but like now my pinky sits way out here because I had to sew it all up, and like I don't have much control over the pinky anymore. But yeah, it took me wide open, but yeah, chainsaws aren't nice. When they grab a hold, they usually take everything with it.
Yeah.
You've
Oh,
had some pretty good luck then.
yeah. I was talking to this lady I worked for the other day, and she asked me if I've ever had any major injuries, and I said no, but I'm probably about one. And I don't know if you feel like if you're walking on ice all the time, eventually you're gonna fall through. Uh,
Yeah,
yeah, I just hope it's not that bad. I don't know, dude. I'm pretty aware of um, my surroundings. It would have to be something really dumb or being tired or uh,
I think the biggest thing
you know,
is if you find yourself rushing for a stupid reason, just stop. It's like
yeah,
there's no reason to try to rush something doing this, and I feel like that's where my mistake was at every
yeah.
time.
And I heard Reg Coates say it one time that if you're up in a tree and I've had this happen where you're not quite exactly sure what's going to happen, you're not quite sure what to do, and in your head you say, "Screw it, just cut it." Nah, maybe if you go if you're thinking that, rethink the whole situation. You know what I mean?
Separates a lot of us from the other guys that will climb a tree and will cut a tree. I'm not that guy. Like it blows my mind because I had somebody around me. They put an oak tree through a house, and the people going hire people that are uninsured, and then they drop. Those are the guys that take all that risk. That are like, I'll just cut it. You don't even have insurance. Why would you dare do that? But
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah. It's taking a huge risk,
Yeah, wow.
and
Yeah, the same thing. If you ever get to where you're like, I'm gonna risk it. I worked for a guy, and that's all he wanted me to do that so often. Just I'll take responsibility is what he would say, and I'm like, I'm not doing this, dude. We got in
yeah,
fights all the time over it, but
yeah. Close calls all the time.
yeah, hell with that. Um, let's see. What you got any like hobbies other than axe building that you do?
Dang, man. Um, I'm I'm full. My heart is in tree work, man, and I find it really hard to break away things. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
On weekends, I go out in the forest and climb trees, dude.
awesome.
Like, um, I bought a dirt bike and hated it. You know, I was try- I was trying to find things. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I'm always just kind of like, I don't do this. I just,
I think if I wouldn't have hurt myself to where I couldn't walk, I probably wouldn't have tried skateboarding again. But like I felt so grateful to be able to walk. I'm like, it's just my nature. I'm gonna push it. I can walk. Let's try to skate now.
yeah.
So, but it was definitely hard to find anything that could grab my attention and keep it that wasn't free work. It's
Like all through high school and after high school for probably 5 or 6 years, I skated a lot, snowboard. Um, but yeah, I
there's no feeling of adrenaline or excitement that I've ever gotten doing anything else.
say that one more time.
There's nothing more exciting than tree work.
Oh
Like
yeah,
it's gave me the biggest thrills in my life. Like so, I've tried to find it other places, but that's my spot.
yeah. There's other things that interest me, but it's all like I kind of want to get into like real estate a little. You
Yeah,
know, that's all. Uh, that's all like career based money type thing. That's what I'm weird
and stuff like
at.
that.
It's not a hobby. It's just something I've been thinking about. Uh,
So, Steel, Husqvarna, Echo, or it doesn't matter.
I run it's and I do have a Husky battery saw. Um, I got the Husky battery pole saw, but I'm not a huge fan of just the electric saws in general. I do well, actually. Um, I really enjoy the electric Sparna top handle for like turning in the middle of summer.
Uh-huh.
Like you you put the quarter pitch on it, you can make nice fine. It's lighter. It's not no noise. We have fire season here, so you
Yeah.
a hopped up saw in the middle of summer, people are like calling the authorities on you and stuff. You know what I mean? So you can kind of avoid all that by using the electric saw.
That definitely makes them things insanely useful for you guys. That's something I didn't even think about.
Yeah, like I could go do no cleanup jobs in the middle of summer and not have to worry about it as long as it's nothing too big.
That is awesome.
Or I could go strip it out one day and then come back later on or something. You know.
Um, all right. So what got you into building axes?
Well, that's kind of funny. About I don't know 5 or 6 years ago, I kept buying from the saw shop, and they break right. And and I think I was putting a new handle on one of them or something, and I couldn't figure it out. Like I was in my house and I had like a knife and I'm like scraping the wood away to try to get it to, you know.
That's me.
And I was like, man, there's got to be something on YouTube about this. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I there, and that's how I found Buck and Billy Ray, and started watching a bunch of his videos. And then I was like, man, I want to try it again, you know. So I started buying like these vintage axe heads. My friend Larry, he does all these old axe heads, and so I started buying them, and then I started buying handles. Then started buying tools to make the job easier, you know, grinders, and and then I started kind of getting good at it, and buying like nicer stuff. Like, we'll buy these, you know, and I knew it was gonna pan out. Sell them, you know what I mean, and it all kind of went from there. But
That's,
it's a lot of fun too. I've caught myself like being like, "Dang, this is work now," and like that's and I stopped doing custom stuff because it got really annoying. People would order a custom axe, and I'd order all the stuff for it, and then make it, and then try to get a hold of them, and they're gone. You know, and literally just like
yeah.
spent weeks figuring this project out with the guy, and
And
it's just
you seem like you could probably get things hard on yourself because you seem like a perfectionist when it comes to the finished product of them things. So do you
yeah.
find yourself going a little overboard? Like I just need to back away sometimes.
I find myself spending too much money on like high end stuff because you like some old stuff, and so in the meantime, I started collecting too. So I'm a collector also. You know what I mean? And basically, all the money I make off of axes, I buy collectible shit. You know, and
That's
so maybe we'll do another live feed sometime, and I'll show you guys around and stuff.
yeah,
And
yeah, definitely. That'd be cool. All right. Well, let's see. I got one more question for you because I'm gonna let you go. You've been working all day.
yeah, man.
If you were to give any advice to somebody who gets into free climbing, axe building, or even making YouTube videos, what would it be?
Well, I get a lot of people, a lot of young guys that are getting into the industry, and they always ask me for advice, um, and this is as far as tree work. Um, I always tell them, well, I ask them, I'm like, "Where are you from?" You know, and they'll tell me where they're from, and I say, "With the biggest baddest tree company there is, job with them." You know, don't get a job with some hack or you know what I mean. Like, find the best company around and do whatever you got to do to get a job with them because you want to learn from them.
Yeah,
Uh,
some of them small operations will run a guy off. You know,
you
because
don't
they'll take.
you don't want to learn bad habits. You know what I mean? Uh, and then you know I've learned lots of things from different people. Only just learned from you know. I've worked for lots of different companies, and I picked something up here and there from everybody. You know what I mean? So, and then if somebody's trying to get into taxes, there's all kinds of content on YouTube, and it's actually pretty easy hobby to. I mean, would buy a bunch of cheap material at first. Go buy a bunch of cheap fax heads and practice with those. And and the YouTube thing, I don't really have enough experience to um, say
I,
much about that. But
I would say
um,
your advice for YouTube, and you may not even realize it, but like you were saying about how you've learned something from all over, from different people,
uh,
you seem like you are the guy that keeps his ears open and is always willing to learn and pick up a trick and
yeah,
learn. And I feel like you've probably picked up good habits from August and other people that do tree work. And that's probably why yours kind of goes so good. And I feel like there's probably not a whole lot of advice you can give somebody for YouTube because either you're an interesting person or you're kind of not, you know.
yeah,
And but I think people should always try because I don't think some people know that they're interesting until someone tells them, hey, you're pretty interesting, man. But
yeah, yeah. And I'm getting more talkative. At first, I'm a pretty shy um, person. You know what I mean? Like
I could tell.
this whole YouTube thing is kind of like almost in a way brought me out of my shell a little bit.
It's
Um,
pretty cool to see.
I got some good stuff coming up, and so yeah, I got a axe giveaway that's going on right now, and it ends on Saturday. I'm gonna do my first live feed will
Okay.
to announce the winner. And that's going on Saturday, and
Okay.
then I got the job today, tonight. That'll be a bunch of really good stuff. It's going to be a video on what's it like to work for August Honeyke, and I really think they're going to be interested in that. And, and then Saturday, I'm doing a job down there with another YouTube, and I'm not going to say any names yet, so everybody will have to watch for that. Uh,
Awesome.
we're kind of going to be working together on one tree. So he doesn't have a lot of subscribers, but hoping to kind of put his name out there a little bit more because he's got a lot of cool stuff going on.
That's cool, man.
Yeah, we're kind of teaming up on that. So what I got going on, that's the latest stuff that's going on with me. So
Dude,
uh,
I appreciate the hell out of the time. Like, I imagine it was a bit chaotic. Sorry for taking so long to do the link thing there.
no, that's
But
all right. Got it figured out now. We could do it again.
yeah. So anytime that you want to do this again, you want to show around some axes, or you got something going on in the channel and you just want to kind of put a little feeler out for people, hit me up.
Yeah,
All right.
I wish I could have read the comments the whole time. I don't know if you can see him, but I can't see him.
I should apologize to everybody too. So, guys, we're sorry.
We
Um,
kind of everybody there for a minute.
yeah, I know. But yeah, I will. I'll definitely talk to you soon. But let's do
Okay.
this. Let's do this again. I'm sure everybody want to see more of the axe stuff.
Yeah, man, for sure.
All right, Jeff. Thanks, buddy.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, guys. Well, hey, I will catch everybody next time. Um, I hope this was cool. Hope you enjoyed it. Give Jeff a follow. Definitely go subscribe to his channel if you're not. I should have had his link in here so that people could get over there. But thank you guys all for hanging out. I appreciate it. And what up, Dan? James, Jared. I'll catch you guys next time. Stay safe.